What's going on, guys? So the other night I was able to check out Oppenheimer, meaning we have officially caught up with the Christopher Nolan original films before the Odyssey, which I'll be seeing in the next couple days this weekend. But we're going to be talking about, like I said, Oppenheimer, and this is definitely a top three Christopher Nolan film for me. I've seen this movie multiple times. It's not a film that I normally like. It's not the kind of genre film that I would necessarily go out of my way to rewatch over and over again. But the way this movie is written, the way the story plays out, the way this is such a deep character study into the psyche of Oppenheimer himself, it just makes me really fall in love with this movie more each time I watch it. I just gain new details, glimpses into Oppenheimer's life, and just get an overall new appreciation for this movie. I definitely think in a lot of ways this is probably Christopher Nolan's best film to date. Again, keep in mind I haven't seen The Odyssey yet, and while the Dark Knight is definitely my favorite film of all time, so that's my personal favorite one. This just seems like everything Christopher Nolan is great at, you just see it amplified here. This is his most well-made film. I'll definitely put it that way. The cast is absolutely phenomenal. Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer is amazing casting. He just loses himself into this role. You really feel for him. There's so many great moments where he's not saying a word, but you can just sense the weight and the gravitas of everything that he's done. I think Robert Downey Jr. does a great job playing Strauss, who is in a lot of ways the antagonist to this movie. He doesn't really feel like Tony Stark, but you can kind of see some of those Tony Starkisms shine through. But overall, really great casting, and looks a lot like Strauss did in real life as well. You can go look up the images of the real life Strauss, and looks very similar to RDJ's role in this movie as well, which is neat. And just the story, it's told in a non-linear fashion, but I feel like it's one of Nolan's least confusing films in that department. As a matter of fact, I would actually go so far as to say this is like the perfect three-act structure, where you have like the first act that's the creation of the atomic bomb, the second act that is the testing of the atomic bomb, and then the third act, which is the fallout of creating the atomic bomb. So everything just works together nicely. It's 3 hours long. There's not a single action scene, and all the tension is really just sitting in rooms talking with one another and court cases that come up regarding Oppenheimer's trial, and it's all done so well that you don't even realize this is a talky movie. I mean, the pacing is phenomenal for this. There really isn't a dull moment. And overall, like I said, I think this is without a doubt Nolan's most well-made film to date. I think it is in my personal top 3 favorite Nolan films, and I have no qualms giving this movie a perfect 10 out of 10. Also, Ludwig Göransson's score right up there with Tenet as my favorite Ludwig Göransson score to date.